They called it a miracle, a pill that would erase pain, safe, effective, non-addictive. In the late 1990s, America welcomed a new wave of medication, OxyContin, pushed by doctors, approved by regulators, and sold by the billions. But beneath the polished commercials and scientific claims was a carefully engineered lie. A web spun with clinical studies taken out of context, sales reps trained in manipulation, and a regulatory system asleep at the wheel. And the price of that lie would be hundreds of thousands of lives lost to overdose, ruined by addiction, and forgotten by the same system that promised to protect them. This is the story of how greed, deception, and silence turned pain relief into mass addiction, how one company ignited an epidemic, and how a system let it burn. In 1996, Purdue Pharma released OxyContin. The active ingredient? Oxycodone, a powerful opioid. But Purdue didn't market it as a narcotic. They called it innovation. They claimed their time-release formula made addiction nearly impossible. Sales. Reps were trained to repeat the phrase, less than 1% get addicted. There was no solid science behind that number. But it didn't matter. The FDA approved it. Medical journals published biased studies. And Purdue paid doctors to speak at conferences, offering perks and vacations disguised as education. Purdue didn't target just pain clinics. They went after dentists, orthopedic surgeons, even general practitioners. No pain was too small for an OxyContin script. The result was explosive. Prescriptions skyrocketed. Patients with minor ailments were handed a bottle of narcotics. Dependence grew in silence, hidden behind the white walls of trust in medicine. By the early 2000s, addiction was everywhere. In suburbs, in farm towns, in military families. But Purdue denied everything. They claimed it was the user's fault. The victims were painted as irresponsible addicts instead of patients betrayed by a trusted medical system. By now, OxyContin was a street drug. Pills crushed and snorted, injected, stolen, sold. A new black market thrived. When prescriptions ran out, people turned to heroin. And when heroin got too weak, fentanyl took its place, stronger, deadlier, easier to transport. Entire communities fell, not in dramatic explosions, but in slow collapse. Grandparents raising their grandchildren, funeral homes packed, a generation sedated to death. And through it all, the narrative remained. It wasn't the drug, it was the people. Purdue made over $35 billion from OxyContin. The Sackler family, owners of the company, became one of the richest in the world. Their name adorned museums, universities, art galleries. But as the body count rose, lawsuits began. In 2007, Purdue executives pleaded guilty to misleading the public. The fine? $600 million, a drop in their ocean of wealth. In 2019, Purdue declared bankruptcy, but it was a controlled collapse, a legal strategy to limit liability. The Sacklers paid billions in settlement without admitting wrongdoing. No one went to jail. Documents later revealed they had known about the addiction, the deaths, the abuse. They just didn't care. The opioid crisis killed more Americans than the Vietnam War, AIDS, and 9/11s combined, and it's not over. Even now, synthetic opioids like fentanyl claim tens of thousands of lives every year. Big Pharma continues to push new drugs. Regulations are still weak, and a system built on profit remains untouched. The lie was never about just one pill. It was about a belief that medicine, backed by money, is always safe, that corporations can be trusted, that pain has a price tag, This wasn't a health crisis. It was corporate violence. A slow, quiet massacre made possible by a single lethal promise. It's safe. This is the invisible collapse. Subscribe to uncover the stories they want you to forget.